Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Sunday. It is August 4th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Saratoga, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And if you like international racing, today is kind of the premier sprinting event of the year in Europe or in France. You have the Morrissey from Deauville. I have a preview of that up here on YouTube, so go check that out. And also join me next Saturday for my Arlington Million preview video. But let's get to the stakes action today from Saratoga. We have the inaugural Saratoga Derby, and that looks like it's going to be a great race. I like a price in that race, so join me to see who I like. But first, we have to get to the other stakes races. There are 5 of them on tap, so we'll look at all of them, or excuse me, 4 of them on tap. We'll look at races 3, 5, 9, and 10. So races 3, 5, 9, and 10. Don't know why they couldn't put them all into an all stakes pick 4, but I don't know why. Logic sometimes gets in the way. But let's get to the third race from Saratoga, which is the John Morrissey Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upward New York breds here. Field of 7 horses going to the main track. The distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the main track. 1,300, 6.5, and I show the diagram. It just gives me that little extra second to look down at my notes. Just bear with me. The top selection here, the John Morrissey. I'm going to go with the number 7 horse, I Love Lulu. I'm going to go 7-6-4-5 in the superfecta. 7-6-4-5 super. Top selection, 7 horse, I Love Lulu. This 8-year-old gelding by Pollard's Vision. Jason Service trains. Jose Lizcano gets leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 26th of April at Belmont. Sloppy still going. 6 furlongs on the Affirm Success. The horse finished second by 1/4 lengths. He just stalked most races wide, and he just couldn't get the turn of foot. Pat on the back, 1 next start out in the what do you call that race on Empire Showcase Day back in Memorial Day. I can't remember the race now. He won that race very impressively, but the California horse was closing up on him. But this horse in the Affirm Success, he just couldn't get to him. Just lost to that better horse. Before then, the Holly Hughes at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs, February the 18th. The horse finished third by 1/3 lengths, and he just wide, and he just again couldn't get the turn of foot. And then he ran off 6-2 Claimer at Aqueduct, 6.5 furlongs on January the 5th. He won by 3 3/4 lengths that day, almost on the front and all throughout. Very wide, but he still took off clear. A very good race for him off the break. And then he ran the Hudson before that, where he finished 4th by 4 1/4 lengths at Belmont. And again, he tired. He's run here 6 times at Saratoga, but has no victories here. But his best race came in this race last year, where he finished second by Weekend Hideaway, who ran a hell of a race, that Old Man. But this horse closed up well. And Old Man won this race last year. Let's give him the victory here. So let's make him 7-1 here at Saratoga. But at 5-2, I'll take him. So to recap my selection for the third from Saratoga is John Morrissey. Let's take the 7 horse, I Love Lulu. We'll go 7-6-4-5 in the superfecta. Let's jump to the turf course, race number 5 now from Saratoga, which is the Grade 3 Waya Stakes. It's a Grade 3 race going for a purse $200,000. Race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses going the distance of ground here of 2,400 meters, with the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/2 on the inner turf course. 2,400 meters, 1 mile and 1/2. My top selection here in the whale, I'm going to go with the number 4 horse, who is Santa Monica. I'm going to go 4-3-2-5 in the superfecta, 4-3-2-5 super. And if you're going to play the multi-race wagers, I would single the 4 horse Santa Monica. I think she's she loves this trip, and everything just points to her here. 6-year-old mare by Master Craftsman. Chad Brown trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 4th of May at Belmont. Soft going, mile 3/8 on the wide, in the Grade 2 Sheepshead Bay. The horse won by 1/4 lengths. The horse sat back early last, slowly moved her way up, and she held on to a very nice victory. She was in front by a lot. She was depleting the margin late, but she still won very impressively. Very good run. I don't know if you could pick it up on the microphone. The rain, the rain they had the day before at Belmont made the track very soft. And good thing we're not running at Belmont today, because with the rain we're getting right now, Belmont will definitely be off the turf. Later today, but hopefully it's not raining at Saratoga. But my God, that rain is coming down. But I get very easily distracted sometimes. But before the Belmont race, this horse ran the 29th of March at Gulfstream. Mile 3, it's a good turf course in the Grade 3 Orchid, and the horse won by head from a wide post draw, sat back early. She got there in the nick of time. It was a very good run, but keep in mind, Icky Masho won 2 races in a row after that. She got Icky Masho, is a good horse. So this horse beat some good horses home in the Orchid, and then before that in the Grade 3, Le Paviante at Gulfstream, mile and a half on Pegasus Day. Remember, the turf course was very waterlogged that afternoon. The horse finished second by a length. She closed up well, but she just couldn't get in front of the winner, who just ran that better race. And then she ran in the Breeze Cup Filly Mare Turf at Churchill. She finished 10th by 13.5 lengths, and she just was very wide, and the turf course wasn't really playing towards closers that day. But she likes the mile and a half trip. She's getting it today, and lesser quality horses here at even money, I expect her to run well, so I'll use her. So to recap my selection for the 5th from Saratoga, it's the Grade 3 Waya. Let's take the 4 horse Santa Monica. We'll go 4-3-2-5 in the superfecta. So now let's get to the featured 9th race from Saratoga, which is as my iPad always craps out during these videos, but finally load again. But let's get to the 9th race from Saratoga, which is the $1 million Saratoga Derby. It's invitational for 3-year-olds here, going for that purse of $1 million. Field of 11 horses going to the Mellon Turf Course. The distance of ground of 1,900 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile 3/16 on that Mellon Turf Course. 1,900 meters, mile 3/16 here. The top selection, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, who is Eons. I'm going to go 5-10-2-8 in the superfecta, 5-10-2-8 super. In the multi-race, I would go 5-10-2. I think it's a 3-horse race between those 3, but the top selection would be the 5 horse Eons. 3 are caught by Giants Causeway. Arnaud Delacour trains. Trevor McCarthy gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 6th of July at Delaware Park, mile 8th in the Grade 3 Kent, and the horse won by neck that afternoon. The horse stalked the pace that day. He got a great turn of foot, and he won very nicely, being a award winner who actually ran Friday in the Hall of Fame. Red Crap backed him that day. But this horse, he ran a major race. Before that, Delaware, 12th of June, mile 16th in the Stanton, and the horse won by a half length. Sat towards backpack in the small field, got the lead, and he took off. It was a very good run for him. And then a Pimlico, 17th of May, mile 16th, launch race 52,000. Facing older horses, the horse won by neck. Again, sat back early, he got out, and he won nicely. You're going to see a quick pace in this one, and I think this horse coming just, from a tracking position, at 15-1, he could get a good run, and I'll take him. I like him a lot. I also think the 10-horse Mohawk could get a good run. 3 called by Galileo. Aidan O'Brien trains. Wayne Lord and gets the leg up. The horse ran 3 weeks ago now in Ireland, in Leopardstown, mile 8th in the Group 3 Meld Stakes. He won by 2 lengths that day. He stalked early on, he got the lead, and then he won quite nicely. It was a very good run for him. Before that, in the Prix du Jockey Club, the French Derby at Chantilly, mile 5/16, very firm ground. He finished 7th by 19 lengths, and he just never got into it. It wasn't his day to win. And then the Irish 2000, he going the mile trip, he finished 8th, and again, he just had nothing that day. And then the D Stakes at Chester, kind of a Derby trial there, going the mile 5/16 trip. He finished 2nd by 1/4 lengths. He closed up a little bit that day, but at Chester, it's like the Aqueduct Old Inner Track. It's speed from the rail, and this horse just didn't have it. The winner, Circus Maximus, who went on to win the Group 1 St. James Palace at the mile trip, just ran that better race. A miler is going a mile and a quarter at Chester, really hold up a lot better than a mile and a half horses. It's a very weird course, but I like this horse at the mile 3/16 trip today. You're going to see a quick pace from the run in, and I think it'll run well. Just look at the horses he's been getting beat by. Tudor Hart, Circus Maximus, Persian King, who we finished second behind in who finished second in the Prix du Jockey Club. There's some very good horses there. Anthony Van Dyke, so he's been finishing against some very tough Group 1 winners in Europe. Coming here, not so many tough Group 1 horses. I expect him to run well also. And the 2-horse Social Paranoia, he ran a good second in the Belmont Derby and a good third in the Pennine Ridge. He's another horse. He'll sit closer, but I think he could also get the good run. So at 6-1, I'll take him. Do we see another track record in this race today? The track record is 151-3, so they'll have to be flying to break that, but it could be possible. But to recap my selections now for the 9th from Saratoga, it's the $1 million, keep on saying Grade 1, but that's going to come in a few years, but it's the $1 million Saratoga Derby as a top selection. We'll take the 5-horse Eons. We'll go 5-10-2-8 in the superfecta, 5-10-2 in the multi-race. So now let's get to race number 10 from Saratoga, which is the Adirondack Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a purse $200,000 race for 2-year-old fillies here. Field of 8 horses going the distance of the ground of 1,300 meters or 6.5 furlongs on the main track. 1,300, 6.5. My top selection here in the Adirondack, I'm going to go with the number 8 horse, who is Magic Dance. I'll go 8-3-2-6 in the superfecta. 8-3-2-6 super. If you're going to play the multi-race, 8-3-2. I think it's a 3-horse race between those three. But the top selection would be the 8-horse Magic Dance. Two-year by More Than Ready. Steve Asmussen trains. Ricardo Santana Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 29th of June at Churchill. 6 furlongs in a debutante. First start against winners. First starts against stakes quality horses. It didn't matter because this horse won by 1/4 lengths. Was stalked early on and had a great turn of foot late, and won very nicely. Before that, Churchill 5 rounds made special weight 90,000. The horse won by 4.5. Again, sat back early, had a great turn of foot around the far turn. And again, just went away with a very good run. Has been getting better with every race. Coming here to Saratoga, I like the wide poster. Has been training well over the Oklahoma. I think everything points to her. 7-5. It's a crap price. 7-5 material race. I'm just not a big fan of, and I have to take it here. I also think 3-horse Perfect Alibi could run well. 2 for by Skay Mesa. She ran as a good second place finish in the story. If there's going to be a pace meltdown, I think she can get it. But looking at her workout patterns, I don't know if they're quite sure what they want to do with her. Do they want to run on the turf? Because she's been training on the Oklahoma turf training track a few times, but then she's back to the Saratoga main track working. She's not a very good workhorse, but she, like I said, her 2 races have been very impressive closing up in those 2-year-old races, which tend to be more towards speed horses. At 9-2, if there's going to be pace meltdown, I'll use her, but she's, I fancy, before her, I do fancy Magic Dance. But to recap my selection now for the 10th from Saratoga, it's the Grade 2 Adirondack. As a top selection, we'll take the 8-horse Magic Dance. We'll go 8-3-2-6 in the superfecta, 8-3-2 in the multis. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.